We see it dozens of times a day. We use it ourselves without even thinking. The smile. It just feels like the simplest, most universal sign for, I'm happy, right? But what if I told you that's not always true? What if a smile could actually mean you're embarrassed? Or that you're even saying no? Yeah, let's dive into that. So, that brings us to the big question. Is a smile truly a universal language? I mean, our gut reaction is, of course, it seems to cross every border, connect total strangers, and reassure our friends. It feels like this basic piece of human software we're all born with. But as it turns out, just like any language, this one has some very different dialects. And the short answer is nope, not always. Because in some cultures, a smile has very little to do with what you feel on the inside. Instead, it's a powerful tool you use to manage what's happening on the outside. To really get this, let's start our journey in Japan. Here, a smile often isn't about some spontaneous burst of joy. It's about something else entirely, something incredibly important: maintaining harmony. The key idea we need to wrap our heads around is wa, which means social harmony. Think of it as the ultimate goal of pretty much any social interaction. It's not about winning an argument or even being brutally honest all the time. It's about making sure the group dynamic stays smooth, peaceful, and respectful. The group always comes first. And what's the #1 tool for keeping that wa? It's something called the social smile. See, this smile isn't a window into the soul. It's more like a social lubricant. It's a way of saying, hey, the situation might be a little awkward or difficult, but we're going to keep things pleasant between us. It's a kind of mask, but one you wear for the benefit of everyone else. And this is where it gets really counterintuitive for a lot of us. Get this. You're apologizing for a mistake? You smile. You have to turn down someone's request? You smile. In these moments, the smile isn't showing happiness, it's softening the blow. It's a gesture of consideration, basically designed to prevent any kind of confrontation. And it goes beyond just smiling. For many Westerners, if someone covers their mouth while talking, it can feel a little shady, right? Like they're hiding something. But in this context, it's often a sign of modesty or politeness, just another small act meant to preserve that all-important social harmony. Okay, now let's completely flip the script. In a lot of Western cultures, especially in places like North America and Britain, the rule book for smiling is pretty much the exact opposite. Here, the most important value isn't harmony. It's sincerity. The golden rule is that your outside should be an honest reflection of your inside. Your facial expression is expected to be a direct, unfiltered broadcast of your actual feelings. Authenticity is king. The logic here is really straightforward. A smile is a direct signal of your internal state. If you feel happy, you smile. If you don't, well, you don't. It's not seen as a tool to manage a situation. It's seen as raw data about how you're feeling right now. And this is exactly why that social smile we talked about can be so confusing in this context. A smile that doesn't seem to match the emotion of the moment, it just sets off all these internal alarm bells. It's not seen as polite, it's seen as fake, confusing, maybe even manipulative. Instead of building a bridge, it can build a wall of distrust. So, okay, you've got two completely different rulebooks for the exact same expression. What do you think happens when these two worlds collide? Well, this is where simple misunderstandings can spiral into major communication breakdowns. Let's just break it down side by side. In the Japanese context, the top priority is social harmony, and the smile is a tool to keep things running smoothly. But in the English-speaking context, the priority is sincerity, and a smile is a direct expression of genuine feeling. Look, neither one is right or wrong. They're just fundamentally different operating systems for social interaction, and that's why sometimes they crash. And this leads to all these classic textbook misunderstandings. Imagine a Japanese person traveling abroad who uses a social smile to be polite while delivering bad news. They might be seen as totally insincere or confusing. Or flip it. A Western visitor in Japan who gets very serious during a serious conversation trying to show respect might just come across as cold or even angry. Both people are trying their best to be respectful, but their signals are getting completely crossed. So, how do we fix this? What's the solution? Well, it's not about memorizing a bunch of rules. It's about becoming a kind of cultural detective, learning to spot the silent, unwritten rules that are always running in the background of our interactions. The second you realize that different rulebooks even exist, everything changes. You stop judging the other person and you start trying to decode what they're saying. That confusing smile isn't insincere anymore. It's a social smile that's actually showing you respect. And that serious face isn't cold. It's a sign of sincerity. Just having that shift in perspective is the whole key. So what can you actually do? It's really a three-step process. First, just try to understand the context. Ask yourself, what's more valued here, harmony or sincerity? Second, adjust your interpretation. Don't just react based on your own cultural programming. Take a breath. And third, find that sweet spot, that balance between being authentic to who you are while still showing respect for their rules. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If we can get something as basic as a smile so wrong, what other so-called universal gestures are we misreading every single day? A simple nod, a handshake, even the way we make eye contact. It seems like the most common languages are the ones we still have the most to learn.